Sorry about the late start. I'll try to kind of speed things up to make up for lost time. Would you mind holding that for me? My sister is helping me out by being my camera person. Excuse any noises you hear in the background. We've got pets, kids, busy household. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is work on making a headband out of crochet. So I had already started kind of like a chain, but it's really easy to undo, honestly. So if you're ever tired of your piece, you can start over anytime. So the first thing you want to do is make a slip knot. This is really important because slip knots are used in like crochet and knitting, honestly. So it's something that if you want to get into any type of fiber arts or skill, it'd definitely be a useful skill to have. So the fast way that I do it, I'll have the yarn just like this. I twist, this is the loop part, and this is just the tail and the yarn. So I take the loop in my fingers, I twist to make an X, and then bringing my fingers through the loop, I pull on the tail. And it makes a little loop. The point of a slip knot is that you can change the size of the loop as needed. If you are like an absolute very beginner, slip knots can be a little bit challenging, but essentially what you're wanting to do is use the tail to tie a knot around the yarn. And so you can do that just like so, like just a regular knot. Okay, so there you can see I've got like my little knot here and my yarn that's inside the loop that can move and adjust the size of the loop. So then we pull our little knot tight just around, and now we've got our slip knot. So once you have that down, is everyone thumbs up? Also, excuse my thumb, I got a dog bite. It's really gross. Please ignore it. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you guys need, or if I'm going too fast or something. So, once we have our slip knot, you can take your crochet hook and put it through the loop. So, you have your initial loop right here, and this part is our tail. Don't worry, this will we'll find a way to incorporate this seamlessly into the final project. So you take your yarn, you wrap a small loop around the crochet hook. Then using the top part, you can, sometimes once you get going in crochet, it's easy to just use the hook, but when starting your first line, sometimes I need to hold on to it with my fingers to keep it still because it's just so small. So yes, you pull your hook, the yarn through the first loop, and there you are. That is crochet. And essentially you keep doing that. So I've got the loop, pull through my loop that I just made, and now I've got another crochet stitch. Essentially you want to, for the headband specifically, some people will make it widthwise, where you do like a short row, build this up until it's long. Please excuse the yelling in the background. Until it's long. Some people, myself included, for measurement purposes, it's easier if you're crocheting a long strand, and then you can make sure that it matches the measurement of your head or whomever's head you are making this for. And then when you have it long, that way you know it'll be the right size, and then you can build longer rows on top of it until it's the width that you are wanting. That is the method we're going to do today. So continue with your crochet chain, putting the yarn over, using the hook and pulling it through the loop. Sometimes the metal crochet hooks can be really slippery, and if you have if your yarn is not super well twisted together like mine and the strands easily separate like this, sometimes the the hook can get caught in between those strands. So if it starts to look a little bit funky or like isn't coming through very smoothly, then that might be what's happening. So continue with putting the yarn over the loop. Oh, my hook fell out. Yarn over, pull the yarn through the loop, crochet stitch. And once you've got a hang of that, it can go by pretty quickly. Let's see, I'm trying to think of like some common issues. Make sure that when you're holding the crochet hook and the yarn, that your tension is really light. So when you perfect actually. So in my crochet line that I've done so far, you can see here it's nice. There's lots of space between the yarn. It's nice and loose, like you would want it, kind of stretchy. Whereas here, it's a lot smaller. It's more dense and close together. That is not usually what you're wanting. Maybe for specific projects, but generally in crochet, you want it to be nice and loose. One of my first instructors told me you want it to be just like light as a feather, like no tension in as you're going. But it can take a while to work up to that, so it's also okay if there is tension in your piece. What I did there to undo those stitches was I just held on to what I have done so far, and if you just pull, they come out. And if you're be very gentle with it so that your loop is still here. And then when you have undone the project to the point that you want to restart, go ahead and just slip your hook in and restart, keep going. So as I'm doing the rest of my chain, I'm focusing on making sure that the tension isn't too tight, using very loose, very light movements, and eventually it'll start to become like a little chain like this. As you can see, I crochet all the time, and even my stitches are not like absolutely perfect, so be very, like, go easier on yourself if you're having a difficult time. So again, yarn over, use your hook, pull the yarn through the loop. Once it is the desired length, in order to add a row, let's see, I'll try to finish this up real quick. I'm gonna make a headband for my dog because I'm that kind of person, but he loves it, I promise, and he looks very cute in them. So it's not gonna be like human size, but if it's a little bit smaller, it'll be easier to show you guys. So, excuse the toddlers throwing tantrums in the background. I'm sure many of you can kind of relate. So
being at home.
So, oh my gosh. Once you have it, your desired length, you're going to want, so these are like your stitches. You're going to want to add one extra at the end. And you're going to do this with every row, but this one in particular. You're going to, you got your extra stitch, and so now as you go to, what you're going to do when you add another row, so say this is the desired length of my project, as you can see, so there's this first stitch right here. This is the extra stitch that I just made. We're going to skip that and instead go to the next stitch right here. Let me try to pull it apart so you guys can kind of see better. So there's first stitch right here, ignore it. Move on to the second stitch. Take your hook and push it through the first stitch like that. So now you've got 2 loops on your hook, just like this. Then you take your yarn, wrap it around, pull the yarn. Sometimes you need to use your fingers, especially if the stitches are kind of tight. Pull the yarn through the first loop, just like that, but not the second one yet. And then when you have, so now you've got 2 loops again. Fold the yarn over, use your hook to pull it through both loops this time. So 1 and 2. And there you go. There's the first stitch on your second row. So then you go to the next stitch right here, put your hook through so that you're holding both. So here's the stitch where I just put my hook through, and then here's the loop from the last stitch I made. Wrap your yarn, pull it through the first loop, and then wrap your yarn again and pull it through the next 2. Ta-da! So, as you can see, it's starting to kind of build a little bit, like something thicker here, something of substance. It can be very rewarding to make things in crochet that you made yourself. I have a few headbands back at home that I use for putting makeup on. It'll like hold my hair back. I use it for like washing my face. Sometimes if you make them wide enough, you can wear them, especially if you use like warm yarn, you can wear them to keep your ears warm in the wintertime. They can be a really cute hair accessory. There's lots of uses for them. Plus they just look kind of cute. The finished product does anyway. So, my battery's low. I'm gonna get a charger. But essentially, you keep going. Here, is it okay if we set this down? Oh. We're gonna move the camera real quick. We're gonna grab a charger for the phone real quick. So, as you have your, do you wanna, excuse us, 1 second. Technical difficulties. Okay, cool. So, now that you've got a few stitches going, I'm going to try to finish up this row so I can show you all what to do with the rest of your rows. Because as I mentioned, oh, don't want to lose that. As I mentioned before, you do not want to you don't want to forget the extra stitch at the end of your row. Otherwise, your piece, what I see in a lot of my younger students, your piece will start to look like a slice of pizza. We call it the pizza effect, because it, as you slowly like drop one, like when you forget to put on the extra stitch at the end to make your like side of your piece, the finished side, it will start, you like lose one stitch on one side, lose one stitch on the other very gradually, and so it just makes a triangle like a slice of pizza. And that's cool. If you want to make a slice of pizza, like that'd be really awesome. There's this guy on Instagram. He's called Chili Philly, and he crochets and knits, and he makes like pieces of food that he can like wear on his head. He has this one piece that's literally like mustard and ketchup, and he's got some wire and it's like pouring out of his head. 10 out of 10 recommend. So as you're continuing, remember to have like very light tension, and you can kind of see it's starting to, we're starting to make something, yay! And depending on like what kind of crochet hook you have, holding it may be a little bit different for you. You just kind of have to try out what feels comfortable for you. My little sister, who is on the spectrum, crochet is like really hard for her to just do very lightly with both of her hands. So she has, every time, no matter how much of her work is done, she always has to use her fingers to pull the loops over each other. Like, it's just hard for her to keep track with the hook alone. And so if you need to do that, like, that's completely valid. It can be hard to keep up with it all sometimes. So this is the stitch we just went into. This is the loop from the last stitch. Wrapping your yarn, using the hook, pull under our new stitch, just the first one, not the second loop. Then we've got 2 loops. Wrap it around some yarn and pull through both. Ta-da! Sometimes it helps to sort of turn your hook for the best angle, to like whichever angle is best to kind of grab the loops and make sure that you have them securely. It doesn't need to stay up or anything. Like, you can twist your crochet hook as you need to within the piece. Don't worry about like pulling on it and whatever, because like you can always tighten it back up. You'd rather have it loose so that you can tighten it rather than have it too tight and then needing to loosen it. So as we continue, trying to finish this up so I can show you guys what I mean about the extra stitch on the end of your row. And thank you all for your patience earlier. We were having some technical difficulties. Again, busy household. Lots of little eyes watching silly YouTube videos. Aw, Izzy, you logged in to watch too?
I did.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yay. My sister's helping me out.
The quality's a little janky, but it's
that's fine. Can you guys see? Oh gosh. Okay. So sometimes this happens where like you lose your loop. That's okay. Just pull it. Stick your hook right back in. You're golden. Wrap around and pull through. Hooray! Stitch, pull through, wrap around, pull through both. Aw, my sister's being so supportive right now and liking everything.
As I'm holding the camera.
As she's the one filming me. Get you a supportive sis like mine. Once you get into the groove of it, which may take a little bit, you may pick it up real quick. Either way. Can you point it more towards my hand?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good.
Thank you. Okay, so almost done with this row. Appreciate y'all's patience. I gave the demo to my mom, so it's gone forever. Okay, so we're at the end of our row. Whoa. As you can see. And so do you see how there's like, here's the end. Wait, is that an extra stitch? No, it's not. That's not. Okay, sorry. I'm right. Just double checking. You're never too good to question yourself. So do you see how like, so far this row has ended right here, but we have this extra little left spot right there. That means that if you just stopped right there and started a second row, you'd be dropping a stitch. But we're going to avoid that. So you've got your stitch, and then you're just going to wrap your yarn around, pull another loop through, and ta-da. Now, on the first row, we did that, but we skipped this first stitch. We're not going to do that with the rest of our rows. We only do that with the first row. For the rest of our rows, we have our extra stitch right here, and then you can see how the sides would come together. So we do not skip this stitch right here. Go in, pull it through, and then pull through both. And then we go to the next one and pull through and pull through both. And we go to the next stitch, pull through both, next stitch, pull through both. And that's crochet. So essentially, my sister's being extremely supportive right now. I'm loving everything. So that's what 3 rows of crochet looks like right there. And that's, you keep doing that essentially until is the desired width that you would like. Some people want just like a little thin, like 3 rows, all they need for a little headband. Some people want like something thick that would like keep your ears warm during the winter. That's yeah, just make I don't know, like 8 rows, 10 rows, whatever. So then, once you have that, I'm going to finish up this row, and it's going to be like a little baby headband, but it's going to work. So I can show it for the sake of showing you guys, showing everybody how it's done. I'm going to do this quickly, and I'll show you, after I finish this row real quick, I will show you all how to finish when you're done. Finish the project. You don't, with knitting, there's like a whole, you have to do like a whole row of casting off, and it can get a little complicated. But with crochet, thankfully, the last row that you crochet is the last row you crochet. That's, we don't have to do anything with it as far as the stitches. They're not loose. Anyways, okay, hurry up, could you tilt it down a little more? Thank you. Sorry. And so as now that I'm like kind of experienced with crochet and I'm like in the flow of things, I can like hold my crochet hook, just push it in and like use it to grab the yarn and pull through, so I don't necessarily have to wrap it every single time. But if that's easier for keeping track of all your loops and making sure you know what's going on, please do. I did that for like the first year that I was crocheting. So, almost done with this row. I'm gonna try to finish up. I'm also working right now, one of my projects that I'm in progress is like a scarf for my dog also. He loves to wear scarves in the wintertime because he's a Greyhound Dane mix, and so he is very skinny and gets very cold. He hates the cold. So I like to, he has coats and scarves that he wears. Some of them are torn up, so I like to knit and crochet him new ones. Okay, so we're at the end of the row. Here's like my last loop. When you're pulling through, I forgot to mention this, when you're pulling through, it's okay for the 2 like little lines right there. That's like your stitch. It's kind of hard to see in like your first row because it's all like still being made, but your stitches are gonna kind of look like that across, and like putting your hook through so that it's got both on there, that's like the whole crochet stitch. So you want to make sure if you're doing that, good job. So yeah, we've put it through, got the yarn, pull the yarn through the first part. Now we have 2 loops, pull the yarn through both loops, and now casting off with crochet is really easy. So what I do is I take my crochet hook and I just pull the yarn like this, so it's still in here. Now we've got this like loop, and I'll take my scissors. Learning to cut without like using scissors without a thumb, difficult. Okay, so you trim the little loop. Okay, part of the loop that's closest to your work, that's right here, that's like your work. Okay, wait, that's the tail. This one is your work, like this one's inside your work. This one you can like pull through, pull out. That's the one you want to take out. So you take it. You've got this, and what you want to do is, if you have a yarn needle, luckily I've got lots, what you'll do is take it and put it through, you take it and put it through the little eye of the yarn needle. This can be challenging in and of itself, so good luck. Thank you as well.
You're welcome.
Again, if you guys have any, or if you all have any questions or are like confused or want me to go over any of it again, please just comment below. I believe this will also be on the Emily Taylor Center's page afterwards as just like a video you can watch if you'd like. So, okay, now that we've got the yarn through the yarn needle, this end, all we need to do is just kind of like sew it into our work. This is nice and really easy to do if you're working with yarn of all the same color. However, if you do have like different colors or shades, or if the yarn you buy is like really organic and like different different sets or like batches of yarn are just like slightly different maybe and doesn't look as uniform as you'd like. Generally I just try to like weave in as much as possible, but after you've like tugged on it and you know that it's like not going to come loose, just kind of cut it as close to the work without destroying the work as possible. So like here's just this string. It's already been weaved into the top part of my project, so what I can do is snip it as close as possible. And now we've got that little, oh, not all of it. See, the strands don't like to stay together, but it's so soft. So now we've got like a little tail on it, and what you can do to fix that is just kind of tug on your piece until not even noticeable. Bam. Okay, so now for the putting together part. So my battery just keeps going low. 1 second, we gotta check the cool. We'll see. Okay, so now that you've got like your headband pieces, this is after you've been able to make it the size that you want. So you'll take the ends. This is our little tail from when we first started. You want that. You take the ends and you kind of like use the tail to sew them together. If you don't have a yarn needle, what you can do for weaving your tails and yarn, you can use your crochet hook. So what I like to do is I will stick my crochet hook through just like here, right, just wherever I want my string, and then I have my yarn, I put it under the hook, and then I like pull it through. Oh, okay, almost. And pull it through. And so now the yarn's there. And then, I'll do the same with the other side. And so now I stick my hook through where I want the string and pull the yarn. And I'll on the other side. And I pull the yarn through, and eventually, as you weave the yarn in and out, it starts to hold it together like this. My sister's making sarcastic, impressed faces at me.
I am not.
Stick it up, pull the yarn through, stick it up, pull the yarn through. I'm really hoping y'all can see this. And then pull the yarn through. It got stuck because the strands like to separate. That will happen, and it's okay.
It like got pussy. Like as soon as you were like, I hope you guys can see it, it went.
Comical timing. We love it. Okay. So you got your hook through where you want your yarn. You got the yarn under your hook, and you pull it through. It works. And so now you've got.
It's like a bracelet.
Yeah, this is like a bracelet. Good job. Thanks, Izzy.
A warm bracelet.
It's like a really big bracelet.
Okay, well.
Or like a headband for my cat. Oh my god, she's gonna be so cute. Okay. I need it down. You're focusing too much on my face. Okay.
I love your face.
Now that you've got it like that, what you can do is tie it, or even weaving it into, no, for a headband you want to tie it because we're connecting a piece. Anyways, excuse me, thank you for letting me think while on live. So what you want to do is like kind of pull it through one of these stitches like so, and then maybe leaving more yarn than I did, but yeah, I'll unweave it a little bit and just use more yarn later. So once it's in your loop, you kind of like push it up so it's making a loop. I don't know if you can see this. And then kind of just like pull it, like tie it like a regular knot, and just pull it through if you can. Good enough. Secure. And then again, like earlier, just snip it, or if you want, you can like weave it in. That's also totally fine. But now it can like stretch a little bit, and you can use it as a headband. If it looks ugly, don't even sweat, because here's the next part. We're gonna take, you can use the same color yarn or like a different color yarn, but basically we're gonna make a little piece to wrap around and like squeeze it. And so if you make like a thick band and then it like comes, it looks like a little bow in the center when you have, we'll get there. Okay, so start with our slip knot again. Just tying the string around this piece of string, tying the tail around this piece of string. Time? What time is it?
Oh, it's 1:50.
1:50? Okay, perfect. So, you have your slip knot. Basically, you make something that I usually, for like a regular sized headband for like a human person, I make the little strip like 4 inches long, maybe like 1 inch wide. You can obviously tailor it to your headband, however big or thick or long it is. You can just make it whatever size you need. So, and you're gonna like this. Mine's real tiny, so we're making the strip real tiny. So again, you've got your extra loop on the end. Push, we skip the loop because it's our first row, so we skip this loop by the extra loop. Go in, pull the yarn through, and then pull it through, wrap it around, and pull it through both. Ta-da! And so once we do that, we've got a nice little strip. Okay, and then you just kind of, like I showed earlier, you just sort of like, once you're done, pull it up, snip it, weave in the extra, and then kind of tug on your piece till it's not super noticeable. So, once you have that, you can wrap it around the center part where your headband is connected. And if it's ugly, my sister's being on me. If it's like ugly kind of here, like mine is a little bit, like with bare stuff, you can wrap it around that part basically where it's connected, and then on the back side, so you want to maybe like flip it inside out. On the back side, you can just weave the ends together around it, and that'll be, you got it. That'll be super cute. Adjust it like as needed. Sometimes I weave it, the thing around it like very loosely to make sure that it's fitting the way that I want first before I like really secure it down. And so that's how you crochet a nice little headband. Tailor that however you need for like any scarves or whatever. Now we're moving on to knitting. You can do this with knitting and crochet. It's so satisfying to just pull all of it out. Ow. Can't use my right hand really because it hurts a lot. Okay. Okay, so. Thank you.
I don't know how you want me to move it.
Would you focus on filming and not being so supportive? You're already being supportive by filming.
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
I forgot to stop clicking.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, moving on to knitting. We've got our knitting needles here. Mine are metal. The metal ones are very slippery, and so when you're more advanced with knitting and like you can go through the stitches really quickly, then it helps because then they just slide right off. But usually like wooden or plastic knitting needles are good for like beginners because it's less slippery, and so you don't have to worry about losing your stitches as much as you do with these. AJ just making fun of me.
AJ says, I hear you hearting the video.
Oh my God.
As you should.
So, first step, as I said earlier, with crocheting and knitting, you want to do a slip knot. So, we've covered this already a few times. Make an X, and then pull it through. Ta-da! So you've got a slip knot that you can adjust as needed. Oh my gosh, Cody, hi! Okay, so then once you've got your slip knot, you take one of your needles, push it through the loop. With knitting, you want them to be a little bit more snug on the needle than you do with crochet. So once you've got this, oh, I'm so sorry, I completely forgot. You have to make your tail on your slip knot long enough to because you need the tail when you're casting on. Okay, anyways, so make your tail really long when you make your slip knot. Slip twist, pull through. Ta-da! And so now, as you can see, here's my slip knot, and then here's my tail, super long. But that's what we want. You can also knit a headband. It's a great practice piece. So, for casting on, my sister is being very sarcastic. Thanks, Shylah and ATC. I am working on a more advanced project because I already know how to crochet, but I appreciated the opportunity to take a break and focus on something creative. You're welcome. I'm so glad. I hope it was at least a little bit entertaining. I'm so sorry that it's not as professional as I would have liked. Okay, so with knitting, this part can be a little bit more tricky. So what I do is I take my two fingers, so here's your tail, and here's your yarn. You take your two fingers, my thumb and my index finger are between the two to like separate them. My other three fingers are holding on to the tail. I then wrap I use my thumb and index finger to split them, but I'm wrapping my three fingers around the other side as well. Okay, so here's how, it's like muscle memory, I have to do it. Here's how I do it. I like put my fingers through, hold on to it, I grab, but I'm okay, so with the three fingers, I'm holding both things of yarn, but I have my thumb and my index finger between. Does this make sense? I hope so. Okay, so then you just pull it down so that it looks like this on your hand. This part, can you make sure that it's on my hands? This part's really tricky.
No, it is.
Okay, it's not.
Oh. Well, dang.
Okay. So, holding on to the two pieces with my three fingers, index and thumb, and then with my needle, pull these two without letting them slip off of my thumb and finger down. So it looks like this. A weird little A. Okay. So, with your needle, first you go under this part, this string. please hold it still for reals. It's not. You can't see. Okay.
No, there it is.
3 fingers.
Also, I'm doing this with one hand, so.
You can use both hands. Your other hand's free. Ignore us arguing. Okay. So, you got the A. This string right here is the one that you want to bring your needle. Hold on. I have to do this from muscle memory real quick. Okay. Yes. So, can you just like film me doing it? So I don't, please. I'm sorry. It's really hard to do while also making sure that you can see it in the camera. Okay. So you hold it like this, so it's a weird A. You bring your needle around like this to pull up this part, this string. You pull that one up. You go around to this one, go under, wrap it, and then this loop that you've made with your thumb, and it's all twisty here, you pull it between these two. So not behind this one, but between these two. You go down the middle, let your thumb out, and then you kind of pull the string, and that is how you cast on. This took me 6 months to learn. I literally burst into tears the first few times I did it because it was very frustrating to learn from a video. So, if it's hard to get at first, no worries. Please go very easy on yourself. So again, hold on to the 2 strings with your 3 just like keep it pointed down at the table, please, where my hands are working. Okay. So hold on to the 2 strings. Hold it still. If I move, don't move the camera.
You just said.
Oh my God.
Move it. And I need to.
No, move it where my hands are. Okay. Excuse us. Excuse us. Okay. So hold on to it with 3 fingers. Use your index finger and your thumb to separate these 2 and make a triangle. Okay. Pull the yarn down and don't let it come off your thumb and finger. Okay. So we're holding it. This looks like some American Horror Story angle BS. Okay. Stop. Okay. Will you please hold it still? Okay. So, you've got your weird A. You go under this part, over this one, and then you go through this loop on your thumb. Like that. And then you let go. Ta-da. Okay. Let's try one more time. Oh my God, this isn't even on the right side. They're looking at my shoulder right now. Okay, thank you. Okay. So
keep going.
Okay. So once you've got that down, again, 3 fingers. Index finger, thumb. Weird A. This one, and then go back through the loop on your thing, okay? Let go, and then pull them. Make sure that they're not too terribly tight. You don't want them super snug, like mine are. But you want them kind of loose like this one. Okay, so then once you've got that down, after you've been knitting for a little bit, it becomes sort of muscle memory. You can go ahead and cast on. So, once you've got as many stitches as you want for your project down, this is about, to get an idea of how wide it would be, just sort of like very loosely run them along the needle until they're as if they would be in your finished project. So then you're able to kind of get an idea of how long it'll be. I'm going to cast on a few more stitches to this, just so y'all can see. Ta-da! Okay. Now we've got our other needle. Can you move it on this way, please? Can you move it more down? You have to remember that the camera is on top of the phone, not the whole phone.
No, I know.
Anyways,
I
so
will
you
do
got it. So now we switch hands with the needles. So these should be in your non-dominant hand, and then your dominant hand is holding this needle that has no stitches on it yet. Okay, so we take our needle, we put it through this stitch. So the way that the stitch is sitting here, it's just like a little loop, and you just poke it through like this. It's a little difficult at first to get like how to hold it right, and then you take the yarn, wrap it around, and then you want to pull this through the loop that you just put your needle through, like so. And it looks kind of funky at first. You can like kind of tighten it as you need to. And then, now that you've made the stitch that you need off of this, you don't need it anymore, so you drop it. Okay. So we've got our needle. We wrap the yarn around. We use our knitting needle to kind of pull it through here. And now that we've got that stitch, we can drop this one. So we drop it. I'm literally chasing the camera with my hands. My arms are so tired.
How are you doing that?
Because I keep moving my hands. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just getting very frustrated. So, we've got this. We wrap it around, we pull it through the loop, and then we drop the stitch. We push it through, wrap it around, and then what we just wrapped around, pull under and through, and then that loop that we first went under, we don't need it anymore, so off the needle we go. And when you drop those stitches that you've already like knitted, it makes a little thing right there, so you can kind of see that it's starting to build something. So you continue doing that. Now as far as like holding it, I started by like holding them like pencils, and I don't remember why, but then I remember I was at this basketball game in high school, and this like older woman comes up to me and she's like, you know, I know that they probably taught you to hold it like a pencil, but actually you should be holding them closer to the tips so it gives you more control if you hold it like this. And then for my yarn, again, I learned this initially from the video that taught me how, but I just hold it with my 3 fingers like this, and so that way I can kind of keep it taut and keep control of it while I have my fingers here. So this is what my hands look like when I'm knitting. They get tired very easily. I won't even lie. Wrap around, pull it through, drop. In the loop, wrap it around, pull it through, drop. In the loop, wrap it around, pull it through, drop. In the loop, wrap it around, pull it through, drop. Okay, and then I'm going to knit one more row and then show you guys how to show you all how to cast off, which is important. As with crochet, you can't, with the tail, like this little piece that's already on your work, you can definitely just weave that in to your piece. But okay, so then anyways, with the second row, it's the same. You just push it through the loop, wrap your yarn around, pull that yarn under the loop, and then drop the loop. So you stick your needle in the loop, wrap your yarn around, pull the yarn through the loop and then drop the loose loop. With casting off, it's kind of like you're pulling them underneath each other. But anyway, so yeah, this is how I hold knitting needles, and I used to hold them wrong until an older lady who's probably been knitting her entire life corrected me, and I've never been the same since. My knitting has gotten a lot faster, I will be honest with you there. Okay, so you just continue. It's like crocheting but without the hook. Okay, so as you knit, it should start to kind of look like this. You'll see like the rows. With casting off, I'll do one more row so that there's actually something of substance there and it's easier to hold on to. Apologies, and thank you everybody for your patience. Time?
2:09.
Bet. Time management who? Okay, so. Wait, 2:09?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I think this was supposed to go till 1:45, but we started 15 minutes late. So then it was supposed to go till 2. Okay, so literally, time management who? Sorry, y'all. Anyways, this is something I like to do while going to like sporting events, or just like being in the car, passing the time. This is really fun to do like during wine night with your friends. My friends and I like to get together and do like, my friend Elizabeth does really fun cross stitching. I think she's making me one actually. She's very sweet. Okay, so casting off. Ow. So you take this loop and you don't do anything with it. You just move it to this needle. You take the next loop and what you're trying to do is pull this needle like this. You want to pull this loop over this loop. So you got it, and then hold on to your second loop, pull it through your first loop, and drop. And then you pick up another loop from the other needle. You take your needle with all your stitches on it, you pick up this loop on the back, got it, with your needle. You pull it over, and then using this needle, you keep your front loop, you like pull it through using your, oh my god, if you lose your loop, don't fret, that's how you lose it for good. But you can just pick it back up with your needle, it's fine. So then you kind of, and then you drop it. Okay, and so basically that's casting off. Is you just, this is by no means professional grade, and with a small piece it can be a little difficult, so please do keep that in mind. But sometimes you need to use your fingers too. I'm just going to use my fingers in this case. Oh my gosh. Pull it over, under, and drop it. I am a fan of both crochet and knitting. However, I will say that knitting is harder for beginners. My younger sister, who is 10, she's wanted to knit her whole life, does not have the motor skills to do it quite yet, but crochet, she can, which is still giving her a means to create something, so that's kind of nice. And as you finish it, it will have sort of this like ridged, similar to the crochet, like finished look. That's just pulling the stitches over one another. And once you cast off, your piece is good to go, and you can just use your yarn needle or your crochet hook to weave in your extra yarn on your tail. And so with that, I thank you all for your patience, and apologies for the technical difficulties and extra noise in the background. Have a great day and stay healthy. I don't know how to end this. Oh, finish. There it is.